it's a new experience for me. I never really felt defeated in my life, and at the beginning of this MSI, I felt really hard on myself that I was like, oh shit, this is not good and stuff like this.
Today was the match of FlyQuest against G2, and I know the presence of BrokenBlade, the top laner of the European representative, and today it's heartbreak for you guys. It's a step back in the grand scheme of things. Still, it's just one step in the journey of G2, of this new roster as well. I know it's a 0-3, it's a heartbreaker. Could you start just by telling me what happened today? How did you live through it as well, and what do you think went wrong against FlyQuest?
A lot of things just felt not great today. Like the place we were choosing to do, and we were just like always in the back foot, no matter what was happening in the game. Nothing felt great. Honestly, it's a bit shameful that we go out like this, especially against NA. Like we always want to do good against NA, right? At least. But the sad reality is we got stumped. So that's very sad. We're gonna, just go home, and have to accept it. We have to accept the hate that's coming. It's gonna be a big heat wave or a hate wave. Very justified, right? Like obviously, it feels very sad to not being able to not only bring a trophy home for G2, but also not make it far in international tournament. And I think this year especially was quite tough. Like we haven't achieved anything yet, and this is something that we have to accept. The next tournament is not far away, and this is something we have to just do better at. I think we are lacking a lot of fundamental stuff that makes us lose games in high stress situations. So we need to get better at that.
I can tell from how you're speaking and everything that obviously this is affecting you a lot, and I mean, how could it not, obviously, right? And especially in your case, I feel like this tournament there's been a lot of heat thrown your way. This is something you've acknowledged yourself in the press conferences. You talked about how you were not happy with your own performance as well. Could you tell me about how you've handled this MSI 2025 on the personal level in terms of like your feelings and everything? Because I feel like since your rookie days, even like on TSM back then, this is like one of the first tournaments that we've seen from you where, especially at the start, you really struggled, right? And this is probably a very, not necessarily new, but a feeling you haven't had in a long time, right?
The beginning of this MSI was very hard for me mentally. I had a very bad start. I think I managed to bounce back, also thanks to my staff. I think after I had like a bad series, my confidence was very low, and this usually doesn't happen to me. So this is something I can reflect on, and for next time, if something like this happens, I will know better how to handle it. It's a new experience for me. I never really felt defeated in my life, and at the beginning of this MSI, I felt really hard on myself that I was like, oh shit, this is not good and stuff like this. I did manage to bounce back, I believe. I think the performances were much better later. Obviously, they were playing against strong teams as well, right? So it's not going to be easy. They're not going to make it look easy either. I do think, anyways, that we managed to bounce back a little bit as well as a team. But yeah, the next tournament I will attend to will definitely be much better.
Would you say that, like, especially towards the start of the tournament, you were blaming yourself even like for this loss and for the fact that you guys didn't make it far enough? Is this something that today, I guess, like you feel also a bit guilty about, or is it more, in your opinion, something that like everyone has to shoulder as well?
I don't necessarily feel like guilty about like this necessarily. I felt pretty bad about it in the Furia game. Like that was like the series where I think I heavily underperformed, and obviously I feel bad. I always look at what I can do better, right? Before I can look at what the team can do better. And for me, obviously there's some stuff that I can do much better this MSI, and this is something I will again like take away with me and this is just something I have to do. Like I have to take what I can do better. I have to take what we can do better as a team. I think there was obviously a lot of things we could have done better today, and also in general, I think we have a lack of understanding of how to play the game. That is very apparent, I would say, and this is going to be my motivation for EWC to play as good League of Legends as we can.
We've heard as well from Caps in the press conference just now, and he talked about how this result obviously is far from what you expect, right? I know, something you're saying yourself. We've heard a lot about the problems of G2, and I feel like over time it has improved. We've seen the difference from the play-in to now as well. We've seen the difference from even the start of summer to the end of, the spring to the end of playoffs as well. Do you feel like this is still something that you can take positively in terms of like the learnings that you've had throughout this year so far? Do you think that this G2 is going to be able to show a much better face in summer with all the things you've learned over these past few months?
I think that will depend solely on us and how we handle this situation, how we handle this loss. I think if you handle it well, I think we're going to see a very dominant G2, right? Because I think not many teams get the chance to go here, experience these games, experience the scrims, experience the environment. So if you take it very deeply and we want to make it good, I know we can. I know this team has the potential to, make it far, because I know the ceiling that we can have. But we also have to show it, and we have to put in the effort all together to make it happen. And this MSI, we couldn't make it happen, and I feel very bad about this.
Do you feel like this result is frustrating to the point that it puts even more pressure on you guys to redeem yourself in summer as well? Like, do you feel like you need to make it count in the third split?
Obviously coming from usually winning the splits to not winning and not making it far in MSI, it's like, obviously it's not a great feeling, and we obviously want to win. We want to win for us, for our fans, for the organization. We want to do it, and again, if you want to do it, we will make it happen. I'm sure of it for next split, because I think the learnings we got from this MSI is good enough to go and win, and we'll take on summer as another challenge. But before that, there's going to be another tournament. So.
You've talked to yourself about just now, like about how you feel like you bounce back, especially later on the tournament, in terms of your mental fortitude and everything as well. What do you think is needed in like scenarios like this tournament, for example, to make sure that like you can rebuild your confidence in time and not let it affect you even in the future? Like, do you feel like this kind of tournament, if not handled properly, it could like even be a hit to you in the future if you like don't manage it well, like everything?
In terms of that, I think results should not determine your confidence. I think the practice and the hours you put into the game should. And as long as I put in the hours and the effort in making my game good, I will have the confidence to back that up. So I know that I will be confident for the next tournament, no matter what. So because I don't want this to repeat, right? Like having performances like I had against Furia, for example. It was very shameful, as a player, especially as a player who played for so many years. But I'm taking it on the bright side, and I will prepare much better next time.
Obviously now you've had 2 splits in, you have MSI as well. Right now you're going to have to go back to Europe right away. You don't really have much time to wait, and then you have EWC. After that you have summer, you have playoffs, you have Worlds. You have almost no time to rest this year. And this question has already been asked to you earlier in the tournament in terms of like the scheduling, like having to play so many best of 5s in a row and everything. How do you make sure that this team, like you guys, don't exhaust yourself as well and keep it like manageable as well in terms of like avoiding burnout but still preparing enough to be better next time as well?
That all depends on like each individual, right? How we take on these kind of things. I think for this tournament we had to play a lot of games. We had to play a lot of best of 5s back to back. So obviously it's always a bit stressful, but I feel like that is just part of being a pro player, you know. And in international tournaments, you don't get to choose. You don't really have free time. We didn't take a single day off, you know, and we just need to work as hard as possible to win. And I think we also have like Isma who helps us with recovery. So usually I feel like with this we handle well.
I'm gonna let you go now. It's already been long enough. But is there anything you want to add to conclude this interview? A message to the fan or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, thank you guys for supporting us. Obviously, your support means so much, especially in these dark times. Not only for me, but also for my team. Just throwing a nice little message will help people to bounce back. I know it from experience, right? Nice messages are much nicer than hateful messages, of course. I know you guys are probably angry and mad. Trust me, we are more angry and more mad than you guys are. So we're going to do our best to come back stronger and have a Pro G2 that you can support.
Perfect. Well, BrokenBlade, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me despite the loss. Again, I'm sorry for everything that happened. I know it's really hard on you guys, so I wish you some good rest in the meantime. Hopefully some good practice, and I hope to see you guys bounce back in the next few tournaments. For now, have a good night and see you soon.